Hola, ¿cómo estás? Welcome back. Let's go ahead and do another round of Spanish today. So let's start with our checking over our homework. So last time we learned how to work with subject pronouns and the verb ser, and so here are the correct answers. If you'd like to pause here and go through and see how you did. We have number one, nosotros, dos, ellas, tres, ellos, y cuatro, tú. Part B, número uno, ellos son de Colombia, because we have Laila and Javier. There are two people, and so that becomes ellos. And so when you find ellos on your chart, which is the bottom right, then you look at the ser chart and determine then that the conjugation would be son. Dos, ella es de Argentina. Susana is a girl. So Susana converts into ella. You find ella, the subject pronoun ella, and you see it's the bottom left. So ella es. Tres, Marcos. Marcos is a he, él. Él is the bottom left. It also becomes es. So we get él es de Cuba. Cuatro, tú eres de Costa Rica. Cinco, nosotros somos de Panama. We for a group of masculine becomes nosotros. Yo soy de Honduras. Siete, you formal. So that would be usted. Usted es de Puerto Rico. And usted can be abbreviated, like UD with a period, or it can be spelled out, like USTED. And then ocho, nosotros somos de Venezuela. Here, part C, número uno, tú, dos, ella, tres, nosotros, cuatro, ustedes, and cinco is yo. Part D, número uno, soy, dos, tú eres, tres, nosotros somos, cuatro, es, cinco son, seis sois, siete somos, ocho es, nueve son, 10 es. Parte E y F, número uno es, dos, somos. Let's look at that one because it says Maria and I. It doesn't say nosotros, but with the compound subject pronouns, you have to know that whenever you have yo combined with somebody else, that becomes we. And then you can convert we to be somos. Tres, tú eres. Cuatro, vosotros sois. Cinco, somos. Seis, soy. Siete es. Ocho son. Nueve soy. 10 es. And then down here at the bottom, número uno tú, dos nosotros, tres ellos, cuatro él with an accent over the E, cinco ellas, seis yo, siete ella, ocho tú, nueve él, and then 10 could be ellos or ellas, because we don't know if the estudiantes are a group of boys or girls, so we will put them both. And then we had some statements to practice with some greetings and the verb ser. So we have número uno is F. So it says, hola, yo soy Maribel Gómez. Dos, y ella es mi amiga Carla. Tres, B or B. Nosotras somos de México. We are from Mexico. Cuatro, C. ¿Y tú? ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from? Cinco, Juan y tú is letter D. ¿De dónde sois vosotros? Vosotros is created by whenever you have tú plus a person's name. That would be you all. Hey, you all. Seis is the letter A. Jorge y Carlos son de España. Siete, I. Juan. We're talking directly to Juan because there's a comma after his name. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? What is your phone number? Ocho, Carla, ¿qué hora es? What time is it? Y nueve, no, Carla, no es la una, son las dos. It's not one, it's two. And then I'll go ahead and read the paragraph, check and see how you did. Este es Mariana Galvez. Ella es mi mejor amiga. Ella y su familia son de Guatemala. Mariana y yo somos estudiantes del 10 grado. El señor y la señora Galvez son profesores de ciencias. Yo soy una estudiante en la clase de la señora Galvez. All right, there's a lot of grammar for you. Then you had some practice with the monsters that you could take a peek and see how you did here. You want to pause and double check that you had the correct vocabulary word and the correct order of the monsters over here. And then here you could create your own monster and then answer the questions in Spanish about, like, the question number 1 is, ¿de qué color es el monstruo? What is the color of your monster? And so then you would say, el color es, and you would reply. And then however many eyes, arms, mouths, legs, feet, you would answer the question about your monster. All right, so the new verb for today is poder. Poder means to be able to or can. And the verb conjugation is over here on the left. It's the same concept. We're using the same chart. The yo form is puedo. So yo puedo means I can or I'm able to. Puedes, you. Puede, usted, él, ella. Podemos, we. Nosotros podemos. We can. Podéis, you all. And then pueden, they or you all, formal. And so if we practice over here, for what would be the correct conjugation for I can? How do you say I can in Spanish? What letter would you pick? The correct answer is G, puedo. Número 2, we can. D, podemos. 3, she can. B, puede. 4, you can. Y puedes. And they can would be F-A, pueden. So again, it's just matching up the charts. So we're going to work with the verb poder. So our book is called Eddie el Elefante, Eddie the Elephant. So let's practice the verb poder, because you're going to see poder come up in our story today. So my question for you is, ¿tú puedes contar 1 a 10 en español? ¿Tú puedes inventar poemas? So I'm asking you in the question form, in the to form. So you would reply back in the yo form when we talk about yourself. So if you can or you are able to count 1 to 10 in Spanish, your reply now would be, sí, puedo contar 1 a 10 en español. If you can't, you say, no, no puedo contar 1 a 10 en español. So and the same thing over here. If you're able to invent poems, then you would say, sí, puedo. Use puedo when you're talking about yourself. If you can't, no, no puedo. So here we go. ¿Tú puedes contar 1 a 10 en español? ¿Tú puedes inventar poemas? All right, here we go. Capítulo 1, Eddie el Talentoso. Eddie the talented one. And here's some of the focus vocab and phrases, which we've kind of been practicing a little bit with puede contar. If you want to repeat after me at home, puede contar, puede inventar poemas, es gimnasta talentoso, es inteligente en matemáticas, tiene un papá, tiene una mamá. All right, here we go. Follow along. Eddie es un elefante. Es un elefante pequeño. Es un elefante súper pequeño. El papá de Eddie no es pequeño. El papá de Eddie es grande. El papá de Eddie es súper grande. La mamá de Eddie no es pequeña. La mamá de Eddie es grande. La mamá de Eddie es súper grande. Pero Eddie no es grande. Eddie es pequeño. Eddie es súper pequeño. Remember, pequeño means small. Eddie es pequeño, pero es inteligente. Eddie es inteligente en matemáticas. Eddie puede contar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Eddie puede contar al revés, backwards. 1098 765 4321. Eddie es pequeño, pero es atlético. Eddie es un gimnasta talentoso. Eddie es pequeño, pero es poético. Eddie puede inventar poemas. Here's his poem he invented. Yo soy Eddie, no soy Freddy. Yo soy poético y soy atlético. And that was chapter 1. And so in your study guide, if you wanted to practice matching up pictures with a correct sentence, you can go ahead and practice and we will check it next time. But it is time for our acciones. So let's go ahead. Levántate. Let's stretch. We've been sitting for a while. And our new one for today is corre. Corre means run. Corre, corre, corre. All right, let's do this. Toca la cabeza. Toca los pies. Toca los pies. Baila, 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 baila. Camina. Marcha. Juega al béisbol. Juega al voleibol. Juega al básquetbol. Juega al tenis. Juega al fútbol americano. And corre. Corre muy rápido. Really, really fast. Okay. Muy bien. So that was our little stretch. So let's go ahead and review our Eddie story. Okay, here we go. So, ¿cómo es la familia de Eddie? So if you want to pause here and see if you can create some sentences describing Eddie's family. Maybe you could say something like, Eddie tiene un papá. Eddie tiene una mamá. Eddie, Eddie es, how can you describe him? Eddie es pequeño, atlético. Eddie es talentoso. Eddie puede, that's our verb for today. Puede, what can he do? ¿Qué puede hacer Eddie? Puede contar 1 a 10 en español. Puede hacer gimnasio. He can do gymnastics. Y puede inventar poemas. Eddie quiere. Now this verb's new, but we're going to officially learn it next time. Quiere means wants. What does he want to be? ¿Qué quiere Eddie? Eddie quiere ser grande. Quiere ser grande como su mamá y su papá. Porque Eddie es pequeño. All right. So let's practice tienes. Tienes means do you have? Tienes. And you would reply, if you don't have it, you say no, no tengo. If you do, sí, tengo. So it goes from asking you in the question form to you replying in the yo form. So tú tienes una trompa. Una trompa. Tú tienes 2 piernas. 1, 2. My response is, sí, yo tengo 2 piernas, pero no tengo trompa. El elefante tiene trompa. What about you? Why don't you practice forming some sentences? ¿Quieres tener? Do you want to have? ¿Tú quieres tener una trompa? Yo no quiero tener una trompa. Yo tengo una nariz. Yo tengo nariz. No quiero tener trompa. What about this one? ¿Quieres tener piernas grandes? Piernas grandes. No quiero tener piernas grandes. What about you? Piernas grandes are like really big legs. So capítulo 2 se llama Eddie el Pequeño. Eddie the little one. And here's our vocab. Puede hacer gimnasio. Repite. Tiene una trompa. Quiere ser grande. Here's a new one. Dice. Dice means says. And here's a phrase. Es tan pequeño como una rata. So he is as small as a rat. So tan and como mean as and as when they're used together. So here we go. And a couple new vocab words. Porque is because, pero, but, como, like, and pobre, por. So Eddie es inteligente, atlético y poético, pero Eddie no está contento. Eddie no está contento porque quiere ser grande. Eddie quiere ser súper grande como su papá. Pero Eddie no es grande como su papá. Eddie es pequeño, súper pequeño. Pobre Eddie. Eddie no está contento porque quiere ser súper grande como su mamá. Pero Eddie no es grande como su mamá. Eddie es pequeño, súper pequeño. Pobre Eddie. Eddie tiene un amigo. Su amigo es un bebé babuino. Benito. Se llama Benito. Un día, Eddie le dice a su amigo babuino. Eddie says to his friend, Benito, soy inteligente, atlético y poético, pero soy súper pequeño. No quiero ser pequeño. Benito le dice, Benito says to him, sí, Eddie, tú eres súper pequeño. Eres tan pequeño como una rata. Pobre Eddie, ¿tan pequeño como una rata? Eddie no quiere ser tan pequeño como una rata. Eddie no está contento y dice, and he says, no quiero ser tan pequeño como una rata. Quiero ser grande como mi mamá. La mamá de Eddie tiene una trompa grande. Eddie quiere tener una trompa grande como su mamá. Eddie quiere, he wants to have a big trunk like his mom. Pero Eddie tiene una trompa pequeña, porque Eddie es pequeño, súper pequeño. Pobre Eddie. Eddie no está contento porque tiene una trompa pequeña. Eddie no está contento porque es tan pequeño como una rata. He thinks he's as small as a rata. So for chapter 2 practice, you can, in your study guide, there's some true and false over our chapter 2, and there's some practice for you to write out some adjectives that you want to be like and that you don't want to be like, and there's a list that you could use. And there's also, if you want to play a game with the pictures, find somebody that you could partner up with. And in order to put an X or an O on each of these pictures, you have to say something about the picture in Spanish. You have to describe the picture. And so you can practice your speaking and your listening. So just to wrap up, Eddie chapter 1 through 2 worksheets. You can play tic-tac-toe, Quizlet chapters 1 through 2. I will see you next week. Hasta pronto. Ciao. Ciao, ciao. Adios. Bye.